Hey guys, welcome to a new video. We are doing something different today. When Robert and I got married, almost 2 months ago now, we were gifted what is probably one of my top favorite wedding gifts, a terrarium with plants and a little sign that has our names and wedding date on it. And they actually included moss from our wedding location. We got married in the forest, so they picked some moss off the floor there and added it to the terrarium as well. We took it home, and I do consider myself someone with a pretty good green thumb. I have loads of plants around the house. Some of them are more than 10 years old. Now, usually plants do pretty well in my care. Not this time. I am very embarrassed to show you what it looks like now. But, yeah. It has completely rotted away. All the plants are dead. The thing that went wrong, I know what went wrong here. I thought, for some reason, thinking back now, I don't know how I could have thought that. I thought that you just close the terrarium and then it forms this ecosystem. You don't have to do anything with it at all anymore. Turns out that is not actually completely true. You have to let it air out sometimes, especially when the plants start rotting. That didn't occur to me, but I thought, I'd have to wait it out and things will fix themselves and this is just the process, but no, it's not. All my plants are dead. However, I do not want to give up on this terrarium, so today I'm gonna take some time, see how much of this I can salvage, try and fix it, try and revive this, see if anything survived. It looks like the moss is indestructible. Looks like the moss actually survived, and that is, I'd say, one of the more important parts of this terrarium. The sign, the wedding sign, is destroyed, but we'll see maybe if we can salvage that. I'm gonna have to try and remove the mold. You know what the good thing is? This isn't like really disgusting food mold. This is like soil mold, There's a little gnome in here as well, and his head is all moldy, and The plan is to head to the garden center, get some new plants, fresh, alive plants that are suitable for this terrarium, take all the dead plant material out, see if there is anything I can salvage, because there are some little leaves popping up here that look like one of the plants that I planted in there that I thought was dead, but now seems to be coming back to life. And we'll just see what happens. I'll clean it out. I have to clean the top of this cork because there's some mold on there. And yeah, we're gonna try and save this because this thing is precious and it deserves better. Okay, let's head out. Also, while we're there, this is my balcony. I have plants there, and I had some violets in that bin, but they don't last for very long, and I planted them in early spring, so I'm gonna look for something nice to plant out there as well. Alright, so apparently the store that I went to was a big plant store and not a baby plant store. It was very hard to find tiny little plants. I found tiny little succulents at the very end of the store, but I'm not good with succulents for some reason. Succulents and cacti are the only plants that I do end up killing. Our house may be too humid for them, and if they don't do well in humidity, they're not going to do well in a jar. Plus, I felt like combining succulents and ferns wouldn't be the best idea. It just didn't seem like a good idea. I think succulents need their separate terrarium. Anyways, the plants that I found were this fern, this beauty right here, beautiful pink plant, and this guy who is a little bit too tall to fit in this jar. So he's gonna live somewhere else in my home. And we have 2 plants for now. But honestly, I think that is plenty, along with the moss and those tiny little sprouts of old plant that are coming up. I think this jar is going to be full. First, let's take out everything that is rotted. See if I can salvage the soil, because the soil seems fine. Might be able to get away with keeping the soil. Oh, the poor sign. Ooh, that one is very, very moldy. I'm still gonna try and clean this. Maybe I can. Well, we'll see how I deal with that one. let me use these tools that came with it. I adore these. This is just the cutest thing ever. So I have the little gnome and then the moss. I think this is wedding moss. And this is wedding moss. This right here, dead plant. Sorry, little guy. Looks like I didn't plant them too well either. They're coming out all pot-shaped. Might be wedding moss, but this looks a little moldy. So I think I'm gonna take that out. Let me bring you up closer so you can actually see what I'm doing. All right, so I have my wedding moss. I have my moldy gnome. I want to put him back. And I have a very moldy sign. We're gonna try and save that. Let's continue poking. I'm gonna try and take out as many of the leaves as I can. Do you see this little guy? Right here, this one. That is that plant coming back to life with two tiny little sprouts, and I think it is absolutely adorable and I want to give it a chance, so I'm gonna leave that where it is right now. I'm not gonna touch that at all, I think. This looks like spores or something. And I don't know what to do with it. I think it looks kind of cute. A little bit gross as well. Can you see that? Maybe if I put up my thingy behind it for contrast, a little shovel. It's kind of cute. It might be moss, like flower, or just straight up mold. I don't know. Do I leave this in? Can this be dangerous to other plants? Maybe I should take it out. There's plenty of good moss left. Oh. Am I gonna regret this? I don't know. Truth is, I don't really know what I'm doing, which probably won't come as a surprise. I'm just gonna take something to clean the inside of this glass with. I have just water here. Okay, I think it's beginning to look heaps better already. So now, for the plants themselves. I think this one should be in the back. What even is the back? It no longer has a back. I think this should be the back, so that this little plant has a chance, and you can see some of the moss. This guy is pretty large. Try and make some room for him. I might have to remove some of the soil. He doesn't seem too root bound, so that's good. I think if there are just two, then maybe he's not even... Oh, okay, no, he's pretty big. Just gonna go in with my hands, make room for him. And I'm also gonna take out this moss and just reinsert it later because it's gonna get buried. Oh, you are too big, sir. You are too big. And then I think I'm just gonna go straight in with the other one as well. Oh, I hope they leave these tiny sprouts a fighting chance. Oh, this one definitely needs a trim because we can't have this. He's already too big. Okay, let me take my scissors. I'm sorry. Oh, poor thing. I do feel bad. It's much smaller now, fewer roots. So let's see if we can get her in there. I'm worried about this fern already just being huge. I might need to trim off some of the larger leaves just so that the other plants have a chance to survive as well. Oh, this feels so wrong. I'm so sorry. You know, guys, I am very glad that I can get my hands into this jar. I can't imagine having to do all of this just with those little tools. I'm now gonna clean the gnome, try and salvage this, see if I can do it, and then I'll be back. Mr. Gnome here is all fixed up. He's made of plastic, so he is just fine. I can place him right back. For the sign, I Okay, I did something and I'm not sure if this is a good idea or a bad idea or just a kind of unconventional weird idea that might kind of work. I just scraped off as much of the mold as I could and then went over the whole thing with clear nail polish to kind of seal it. I must admit I'm not an expert on mold treatment and prevention, but I think nail polish should at least stop it from spreading. I mean, it hasn't cleaned up completely, but it's rustic, authentic looking now. Good enough, in any case, to put back. So it was clipped onto this like popsicle stick, but that was beyond repair. So I'm just gonna use these 2 toothpicks to make it a little bit higher. So I'm gonna stick that in. That is cute. And then in goes the little gnome. He is prone to toppling over, this gnome. Okay. Here is my new jar. I really hope this will survive and do well. I'm not sure whether I am supposed to water it now or not water it, because that's where I went wrong last time. Let me test the soil. Yeah, the soil is still fairly damp, so I think I'm just gonna maybe half cover it. I cleaned up the top as well. Maybe I'll just kind of leave it like this for a few days, see what happens. When I notice that they're starting to dry out, I can always add more water or close the cap first and see what happens then. I don't think I should add more water anytime soon, but at least it looks better. I am very happy with my new wedding terrarium 2.0. Fingers crossed this time it goes well. Fingers crossed that these 2 little sprouts grow into a bigger plant. I'm very excited for those. I will keep you guys updated over on Instagram in a couple of weeks, see how this went and where we are and if everything survived. But at least it looks good again and I can put it back on display. Oh, and I did plant my new flowers on the balcony as well. I always go for white and purple flowers only on the balcony. Not entirely sure why, it's just the colors I'm drawn to, so here we are again. I think that's it for this video, guys. If you have any tips regarding jar gardening, I will be very glad to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for kind of different content usually. I do lots of beauty, lifestyle, fashion and sewing videos. If you would like to support me through Patreon or my merch store, there are links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video right here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!